Hey everyone, it's LC here with Publix Eye Outdoors. We're back trying to get into the swing of things. It's been kind of a crazy last few months here, but I think we're on the back end of it here. And between Aiden's high school sports and things like that, and it's just kind of been a grind this last few months. So, but it's all been worth it. We've had some hiccups here and there, but we're getting through everything. So. Just a little background on what's been going on here the last few months. As you all know, my son Aiden is in high school. This is his senior year, and he's been wrestling since he was 4 years old. And this is his last year, so I really wanted to make sure that I captured this year for him on videos and stuff. So I had to switch shifts on at work and go to a third shift setup so I could go to his events during the day and everything. So it's really been a grind. If anybody's worked a third shift, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's crazy trying to get a routine or a pattern. It just destroys you. But it's totally been worth it. We kind of had a couple hiccups here during football season. He ended up hurting he got dislocated shoulder or elbow. Basically, they turned his whole arm inside out, and they had to put him under to put that back in place. And we were not sure whether he was going to finish the year in sports, but being a tough kid that he is, he went through rehab and he hit it hard, and he still was not done with rehab when he wrestled his first meet, and the rest is history. He's seeded this weekend at districts. I think he's number 3 seed going into districts this weekend. Had an amazing season. I think he's like 31 and 10 or something like that. So we've had a really good year despite the hiccups at the beginning of the year. So really anxious to get the next couple weekends in the books. He's got districts this weekend, and then we go to state. God willing, we'll go to state this year, and just ride out this last year with him, and really excited for that. On top of that, we got the other backside of all this is he's decided what he wants to do after high school, and he's going to join the Marine Corps. So very proud of him for making a decision to do something with himself out of school. He figured that the military was going to be the easiest and best way for him to get funding for school. So that's kind of his plans, is to do the military thing and then from there go to college. So very proud of him. Very proud of him. He's been through a lot these last few years, and man, all the ups and downs that he's gone through, he is very strong mentally. So with that being said here, we're going to get into this video, and turkey season's right around the corner. If you saw the beginning of this video, obviously there's that little intro video that I had put together. The Turkey Woods 1.0 is going to be basically the series for this year, and we will probably, if it works out, we're going to try and continue that throughout the years, and just 2.0, 3.0. But what I wanted to do was kind of break down a day by day as the events unfold throughout the day. Get videos and bring those to you each week, 1 or 2 a week, whatever I decide to do. That way you can kind of get an idea of what I'm going through, what it takes on these hunts to get the job done. Being a solo hunter and a solo videographer and a solo editor and all that, it makes the job 10 times harder. So, but it's a challenge that I love, and I love bringing those to you. So anyway, that's my idea for this whole series, is to bring them daily hunts to you each week and kind of give you an idea of what's coming up to the hunt itself, the taking of the animal. So that's my plans for this season. whether that be here at home, close to home, or traveling out and about out west or whatever. We're going to bring those to you on a daily basis or a weekly basis. But anyway, some other ideas I have is some clean and cooks. So each time we catch something or get something on the ground, we're going to try and do a clean and cook episode with those fishing and hunting trips. So something that I kind of see being popular on YouTube here as of the last year or two. So we're gonna tackle that. I'm not the greatest cook, and it's gonna be an adventure, but it's gonna be a great learning experience and something that I should be doing a lot more of anyways, is cooking on my own. So we're gonna tackle that this year. If you have any ideas for the channel, anything that you want to see, leave them in the comments. Let me know, and I will read the comments and see if there's something there that I can put together for the channel. But anyway, so this video here, I've taken 5 or 6 hunts here that have been kind of my favorites on video. And we've taken a lot of turkeys over the years with Aiden and myself. You know, Aiden started hunting turkeys when he was like 7, 8 years old. And he's there for a while. He was killing turkey every year. I mean, he's good shot with shotgun or a rifle. It doesn't matter. But anyway, we just unfortunately don't have all those on film. And those obviously were my favorite hunts of all time. But these are just some of them in the last 3 years that I've videoed, and so I want to kind of run through these with you here. And I thought it'd be fun just to put these together in a video. So let's go ahead and run through them here. So this first video, this is a hunt that was done in 2019. This particular hunt was right after the year that Nebraska had that huge flood. If anybody you remember that. This Tom here, I called to him all morning, and this is probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Finally, he comes in, but he stays out there about 65, 70 yards. He just will not come into the decoys for whatever reason. And you can tell he's a huge bird. He's a mature bird, but he's smart. And I just could not get him to come in. We ended up taking a shot at him about 70 yards, but just took a couple feathers off of him. That was all we got off of him. But anyway, so after that, I come back the next day, and I'm trying to pull this bird back in the next day, and we ended up moving down into the field, into the shorter area of grass. Calling again in the morning. It's early in the morning, but then in the afternoon, I finally get these 3 to commit and come in. And at this point, it had been such a crazy year, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to get anything at all. So I decided to take one of these jakes just to break the ice. So you can see these 3 jakes come in, and I got my eyes set on the lead jake. And that's about a 15-yard shot, and we ended up dropping him right there in his tracks. That was a 510 grain arrow that I used on that hunt with a mechanical, and it just devastated him. So anyway, this next clip you'll see those other 2 actually turn around and they come back in the backside. And I was wondering, I was kind of thinking I was going to get a double out of this, but I really didn't want to burn a tag on another jake. But if they gave me the opportunity, I wanted the video of a double. So he starts flopping around here, and they almost come in, but they decided that's probably not for them, and they end up walking away. But that was a fun hunt. The next video coming up here, this is back up into the north sandhills here in Nebraska. This hunt here was a fun hunt. This was late. This is a late hunt. And this was the last weekend, basically. It was Mother's Day, I remember. And I finally got this Tom to come in after being up there for 3 or 4 days. And this year was terrible. I mean, I just had a hard time getting anything to come in and commit. But we finally get this Tom to come in. He walks in. I got a hen that came in earlier in the day. and I'm behind this spruce branch, and I finally get him to turn, and he's about 40 yards out, and we just plant him here after he gets turned. And I was elated. I mean, I was tickled with this bird because we had worked so hard. You can see the tree line back behind there. That's a kind of a marsh. You heard all the frogs there. It's kind of beautiful setup. So that was a pretty memorable hunt too. We worked really, really hard for that bird. These next three were all in 2020, COVID year. So kind of a weird year, but this was probably one of my best years of turkey hunting. This particular hunt here, went out the day before and had one kind of commit, but he never came in close enough to shoot. And then I go out in the same spot the next day, set up a little differently, and we have two of them coming in. We got one north of me and one from the east. The one north of me is a Jake, the one east of me is a Tom. And I didn't care what they were. I was just going to shoot something because this is shotgun season. And I've been trying with the bow pretty hard. But anyway, you can see the camera kind of moving around here. And I had just bought this camera. This was my new bridge camera. And I had it on manual focus, so I was trying to get everything set up to where I could get the turkeys in frame and also get things manually focused. And after a while, I just figured, this is not working. I've got to get this camera set up on the decoys and just leave it alone because they were coming on a string. And you can see the Jake there in the background, and then the Tom, he's coming in on the other side here. And by this point, I can tell that the Tom's coming in from the east. And he's committed. The Jake, he's kind of holding up a little bit, but once the Tom rolls in here, then he comes in a little faster. But at this point, they're both behind the tree, and I see the Jake, and then I see the Tom rolling up, and I wanted to get him. And that's a beautiful scene right there. I just love that video. But the Jake, he peels off to the side here, and he's busting me. Tom, he's got his hands full with that decoy, and he slaps him once, and I decide that we got to put him down right here. So we just frontal him and plant him right there. That was a fun hunt, but that happened pretty quick. It didn't take too long. There was a lot of road traffic that day, and I wasn't sure we were going to get done, but basically everybody was road hunting and pushing everything in the middle. That's where I set up. So after that, we go back up north to the sand hills and go back to our favorite windmill spot. This hunt here, we walk in, we drop in about 10:30 in the afternoon. I'm thinking they're off the roost, they're already dispersed, and they're doing their thing, and I'll just set up on the windmill and get ready for the evening hunt. Well, I start walking in there, and I can see them. They're just like ants everywhere down there. There's probably 20 birds down in that area, and about 8 or 9 full-size Toms and Jakes. And so I'm basically hunkered down here behind a juniper. And these birds are just going nuts. They're running around. The hens are trying to break off from the Toms. The Toms are chasing them down, trying to keep them in. And it was just crazy. And I'm behind a juniper here, and I'm trying to get camera footage. My tripod is not the best. It's just a small little tripod, so nothing was working right. I'm trying to figure out which ones of these birds is going to come up the trail where I need them. And then you see me pan off over here. There's 2 hens that I catch movement on the side on the road, and this Tom is sitting there full strut in the road. And we end up taking him. That was about a 45-yard shot too. That full choke with that Mossberg 500 does a good job. But that was a fun hunt. It was a quick hunt. All my hunts this year were pretty quick. They happened real fast. And this next hunt is no different. We went back to that field in the morning, but it was later in the season, and they've been pressured pretty hard, so we were having a hard time. And I decided to just go out in the afternoon and just spot and stalk with the bow. I wanted to get one with the bow, and this was kind of my last hurrah.
He's coming.
So we call this bird off the road, and I drop in and I get set up behind this juniper on the bottom of this hill. He comes in on the top of the hill. So I'm out in the middle of the open, and I'm just sitting behind this juniper, and he comes right down the line. And I'm expecting him to go to the decoys and start strutting, but he doesn't. He walks right into my lap. And he's just about 3-4 yards off the other side of this tree when he comes in. And you'll see him here. He catches me drawing back, and he catches the camera as he comes around the tree. And he wheels to get out of there, but we take the shot through the tree, and we plant him right there. It was a crazy hunt. You can see the arrow sticking out of him. We just basically spined him. That was an exciting hunt. That was my 5-yard. You can watch all of these hunts on the channel. They're all in full video. But this last one was this 2021 season, and we just went out a couple times, and we just ended up getting this one with the bow. The first trip out. It was a 2-day hunt up there in the forest. Back at the windmill. This is the Primos 360 blind that I just recently purchased, where you can see all the way around, and it worked perfectly in this situation because I could see that tom coming in off the backside down that valley. And if I wouldn't have had that blind, I probably would have got busted before he got kicked, before he got committed into the watering hole. But it was in the 30s that morning, but then it got up to 87, 88 degrees that afternoon, and so I set up on water, and this lone tom came in to get a drink, and it was a long sit in that heat, but we ended up letting him. He was kind of sketchy, so I decided to take him here at 40 yards and just bury the arrow in his chest. We'll let him get a couple drinks here first, and then I just didn't think he was going to stick around. You can see there the shot, and it just buried perfectly in his chest. It didn't go in all the way. I was a little bit nervous, but as he runs into this juniper line, he buries that broadhead into his chest.
He was a Jake at first, but he's not. He's got a full beard.
And
full.
Yeah, that was a great hunt too. And that was the last one we did last year. We were trying to get ready for the elk season that we were planning that year. So we didn't take a lot of time messing around with turkeys. We were trying to get maps and stuff done for that elk trip. So anyway, just thought that would be a fun video for you. Just kind of take all those and put them in one video and kind of walk through them with you and let you see. And then, you know, if you want, you can go back and watch the full video of those hunts. But anyway, thank you for watching. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for subscribing. If you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Really helps me out. We're around 500 now, so if we can hit that 1,000 mark, this thing will hopefully start taking off. And I'm going to try and do a better job of getting some videos. But life is just kind of throwing some stuff at us here, and we just got to get through it. And you know, we're always going to have to deal with those life changes. But anyway, we're gonna get some hunts coming up here within the next month or so. So keep your eyes open and peeled for those. And as always, I want to thank you for watching the videos, and stay safe out there in your hunts, and we will see you on the next video.